just recently, I've reported out to my audience that there was a strange and almost sudden attack again against unaccompanied minors recently, in which ICE made these very strange offers, so to speak, of I think it was $2,500 to
That's right.
leave the United States. And if they do not leave, well, they could be arrested or their parents could be arrested. Then there was this aspect to them aging out. If they aged out of the system and they're in detention, I believe they could be deported right away. They would lose certain rights and be deported. Can you shed a little light about that? Because there was a little bit of a good news that came out of that whole Freaky Friday weird incident.
Yeah, so that was just a couple of weeks ago where we
Yeah.
had, this news that had come out that the administration was about to really do this with a lot of the kids who are currently in ORR, Office of Refugee Resettlement custody, saying that they were going to make these offers to these kids that if they decided to, again, kind of self-deport or accept repatriation, they would be given $2,500. And in fact, that money would be given to an adult back in their home country. Very
Right.
unclear how that was going to happen. Sounds a
Right.
lot, to be honest, to me, like trafficking.
Reverse
Yeah, reverse
trafficking.
trafficking, right? It really
Yeah.
was. It was so odd. But yeah, so they were really kind of creating these conditions where, again, a child, we're talking about 7, 10, 12-year-olds hearing, hey, I can be given $2,500 if I just go home, quote unquote. Even if, I don't have anyone to be there with, or the situation is unsafe for me to return to my home, that's tempting for a child who doesn't really understand kind of what's going on. And then what you mentioned, right, with kids who are about to age out, turn 18, who would, instead of being released on their own or to a sponsor, were instead going to be put in ICE detention. And then again, the government was going to remove them from ICE detention to their homes. So it really was, again, a coercive situation where we know, we have many of the kids who were potentially going to be offered this, who we had talked to, who did not want to seek to go back home. They were scared. We had stories of kids who even said, I'm going to harm myself. If I'm sent back
Mm.
to my home country, like I can't live there and I'll harm myself. Like these are some really tragic situations that we're hearing. And I'm not sure the government that we have right now is thinking about those consequences of even just putting that out there, that these are kids in vulnerable situations who don't have a parent or guardian here in the country necessarily can help walk them through the situation. And you're incentivizing them in terrible, terrible ways.
Right, exactly. Again, the level of vulnerability that they're facing, it's something that we don't fully understand or grasp unless we're in their shoes and feel their fears. But organizations like MDEF that are on the front lines fighting for these children should just be supported.